It is that time of the month, ladies and gentlemen. Your Realtors TPU HPR Group EXP Realty May 2024 Stellar MLS stats. A little look at the market. It's going to be a brief version this month. Things are going well here locally, but we're going to kind of look on a larger level and see what's shaking. And I'll give you my 2 cents, if you will. And we're going to jump right in. So let me screen share. I hope this video finds everybody well, and you should be able to see that right now. So a couple of things that I wanted to reiterate, because I really don't touch on this stuff, and I'm just going to go through it quickly. So hang in there with me, if you will. Our mission statement, right? With the Home Pride Group of the EXP Realty, we are dedicated to upholding the values of honesty, integrity, and humility in every interaction we have as real estate professionals with our clients. That is our mission statement, and please don't you forget it. I don't think I remind people enough about our mission statement, values, and principles, so I wanted to run through that quickly. Values: faith, resourcefulness, fun, giving, no excuses, do what you say, do the right thing, and most of all, be real. And our principles: 100% ownership, grow or die, humility, and honesty. So there you go. Just a quick recap. Our HPR Group at EXP Realty, our mission statement, values, and principles. Those are some numbers here locally. We are tracking in the top half, let's go back and have a little more detailed look. So these are larger brokerages. Up here, this is St. Cloud as a whole, the city, the 4 major zips, 34769, 771, 772, 773. Not trying to toot our own horn, right? But I don't look at this data enough, and give us the people here credit for a large part of what's going on here locally and the market share that we're getting and that we have. Obviously, the client is number one and always will be, and this is a byproduct of that. So these are builders. Obviously, their numbers are going to be higher. These 2 brokerages, this is a nationwide brokerage. This is the main office of EXP, not the St. Cloud office. So this is all agents everywhere, Central Florida in EXP, and all agents everywhere in LPT. Olympus, another builder, and then a 300 agent office of Keller Williams out of Lake Nona. So for local brokerages here in St. Cloud, we're tracking number 1, and we're tracking number 1 by quite a bit, thankfully, and I'm grateful for that. And as I said, is it important in the grand scheme of things? No, but it's good just to be reminded for all the people that work hard here of what we're trying to do for the community. So stats, enough of all that talk. Let's jump into stats. So months of inventory, down slightly. So listing inventory will always go up this time of the year. You're going to see agents pick up listings. And it's historical, right? Historical data shows us that this is the time when listing inventory picks up. That being said, the inventory tracked down a little bit from a 3.7 month supply to 3.5 month supply. This was tracking for May. Now, looking at June, we're seeing a lot more come on. Obviously, as I stated, historically, this happens, but we are seeing quite an uptick in data, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. The average sales price, this is what I want you guys to pay attention to. Month over month, that average sales price is now down, only marginally, but it's the first time it's been down. I think it's the first time since I've been shooting out this data to you guys that it has been down. So month over month, it's still up 2% year over year. But as of month over month data, we're down 1%. This is an average sales price, so about $7,000 down. Still a seller's market with respect to inventory levels. But as I said, we're going to track it and see where it goes. May transition to a buyer's market by end of year. Average days on market was flat. 54 days is the average. Active listings was marginally up. New listings was flat month over month. Listings sold was up, but pending sales are down 8% month over month. So stay with me. So with those rising inventory levels and those pending sales decreasing, that inventory is going to grow. So just food for thought. I'll track it and then I'll get back with you in about 30 days and we'll have a better understanding of how close we are getting to that buyer's market, right? Okay, so let's go here quick and we'll wrap up. It's important. Most agents know what's happening. Good agents understand what's happening. Great agents can explain what's happening. So it's all who in your relationship with, and make sure that they're explaining stuff properly. This is keeping current matters. I always like to start with inventory since inventory usually tells the tale. As I said, currently inventory is increasing year over year, but it's still well below the pre-pandemic levels. So these were pre-pandemic. These are the unicorn years, we call them, where we were seeing 20, 30% appreciation, and inventory was way low at that time. Obviously, supply and demand, that created the frenzy that we now remember. Pre-pandemic or pre-unicorn years, the inventory levels here, you can see 1.2, 1.1, 1.8. 2024, we're tracking 700 and just over 780,000, nearly 790,000 units. So well below the inventory levels here pre-pandemic. And then I thought this was interesting. So the change in inventory year over year. If we look at Florida, it's a 70% increase in inventory. We needed it, right? So even though that seems like a huge number, the inventory levels were that low that even that 70% increase, yes, it's affected the market, coupled with lower buyer foot traffic and higher interest rates and higher prices. But the fact that it's 70% grown hasn't had the impact that it would have had if it was a normal inventory level to begin with, because we were so low. Still a big number, and I think it's going to continue to track up, 35% on a national level. Last slide, distress sales. Like to keep a gauge on this. Obviously, you've got those naysayers. The market's going to crash. It's going to crumble. Da 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 da. Not that tracking distress sales or foreclosure properties is going to give a definitive indicator of whether a market crash is imminent, but it gives us an idea, right? So we're still tracking low. We're low. We're right now below 4%, which was pre-pandemic in January 2020. So the number of filings, hold on, I lost this, guys. I lost this. There she goes. All right, so the number of filings represented 2% of sales in April, or sales rather, not filings, and the amount of distressed sales. So it's just not there. I'll continue to watch the inventory levels. So we'll continue to track that. We'll be back. Remember, that slowdown begins kind of September, October. So that's when you're going to see things fall off. Still sales taking place. There's still life events. People have still got to move. But we'll still see sales taper off even further going into that holiday season as those inventory levels continue to rise. So it's something we've definitely got to keep an eye on. That average sales price, 1% decline year over year. Advice: if you're a seller and you want to wait, I wouldn't. And if you are a buyer, the market, and you need to sell and buy, the market you sell in is the market you buy in. It's all relevant. If you're a buyer, I would take, I mean, I don't want to give the wrong advice. I think that for any, I've said this before, for any 10-year period that somebody has owned real estate, it's always appreciated. The only time it didn't was between 2005 and 2015 when it was flat. So if this is a long play and you're going to live in this property as your homestead, the interest rate, if it tracks down fourth quarter, first quarter of next year, you can always refinance. If it goes higher, you won't be able to. If it stays the same, you'll be in just as great as condition. So understanding that that tenure, that ownership is what we're looking at. If you told me you wanted to buy a house and sell it next year and make 50 grand, I'd tell you not to do it. But if home ownership is a goal and it's a life event for you and it's a need, then yes, time in the market will be timing the market every time. So if you're a buyer, take advantage of maybe some of these buy downs from builders, or the fact that you can negotiate extra incentives or closing costs from sellers, and buy now, right? Your Realtors DPU, HBR Group, eXp Realty. Thanks for watching this. I hope this information helps you guys. We will see you, where are we? In about 30 days, and we'll see you on the next video.